And then I said, no, Cheryl, it was broccoli. Yes, hello and welcome back to the RiffRaff. I am Alex Ravenall, he is Ed Mulrine, and we're here to do a bit of riffing, but not much raffing. I've got a laugh track, Ed. You can't hear it, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I think we just go straight in. I think that was as bad as it'll go. The topic for today is... It's a heist. Me and Ed have to plan an elaborate heist. It's gonna get crazy. Now, I think for this, Ed, I think we discussed this before. We both obviously know the heist. But what we're gonna first do is we're gonna get a group of people and then who have different roles. And then at the end, we have to describe the heist using all the roles that we set up. Okay? I'm actually getting my notes out for this one as well because I feel like it's going to get complicated.
Okay, so a heist needs a ringleader,
Yes.
first of all. So, who are the best ringleaders that we can think of? We've got those who are natural in leadership positions, like a mayor.
So what about the mayor of Middlesbrough?
The mayor of Middlesbrough.
Mayor of Middlesbrough. Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
So he's gonna lead the fray.
I'm going to name the mayor of Middlesbrough. I know there's a real one.
No, but this is our mayor, you know. This who should have really won if the vote wasn't rigged.
Yeah, his name is Archie Presley.
Any relation to the King of Rock?
The King of Rock? Oh, you mean Rick Astley? No,
of course I do.
To Rick Astley. He's not related to Rick Astley at all. It's Mayor Archie Presley. He's 65.
And he's a mayor from Middlesbrough.
He drives a Ford Mondeo.
He has 3 children, 2 legitimate, 1 illegitimate, that the other 2 don't know about. That's his bastard son Mark, who I feel like we can have a role for.
Yeah. I think bastard son Mark has a key role because Archie feels guilty about shunning him for most of his life.
Mm-hmm. And he's a mayor. He's a big thing. His other kids, they go to all the best schools. They have loads of friends. And bastard son Mark doesn't have any friends because he's a twat, admittedly. But also he resents his father for it. But we'll get back to him. So So there's the local flower show in Middlesbrough that is attended by all the greats. All 4 people who are rich in Middlesbrough. And at this event, it's a public event, so Archie's there, he's shaking hands, and then at the end of the event, he just looks over and stood by a black Vauxhall Antara. I know my Vauxhalls. It's me and you. We're wearing sunglasses and we've just got our arms crossed. And he's like, shit, they got a job. And so you can play yourself and I'll play Archie. It's like, Ed. It's been 63 months since we last spoke. What are you doing here?
I'll tell you, Archie. We've got a job planned.
Nah, I've got nothing to do with it. I'm the mayor of this town. These people look up to me. I got 2 beautiful children.
You can play these games if you want to, Archie, in your pretend city with your pretend job and your pretend children. Or you can come and live with the real people and get some real things done.
I promised my wife, Guinevere, that I'd never go back to that life. And that's why we moved from America to Middlesbrough, because I said I'd never go back to it.
Let me tell you this, Archie. Guinevere has been dead behind the ice since she said I do.
What do you mean? My wife loves me, man.
Archie, let me ask you one question. Have you ever heard of Ikea?
I haven't heard that name in 25 years.
Surprises me, Archie, because there's one down the road from where you live.
I purposely don't drive down those roads.
I avoid the one road to my house.
I always walk the last 500 meters, and I always turn away from the Ikea as I go. Oh, damn it, man! I'll think about it. And Archie goes away, but we turn to each other and we go, he's in. Now, as we're working on Archie, there is someone else, Archie's right-hand man, who Archie thinks is right-hand man, but really works for us. He's a bit of our undercover. So he needs someone who's slimy, but can get a job done. Don't know why, I go straight for Alan Carr, who, might be nasty calling him slimy, but I feel like he can play both sides.
Yeah, okay, Alan Carr.
Okay, so would you like to be Alan, or would you like to be yourself?
I'll be Alan this time, and you can be trying to convince me.
Okay, right. So you're in a dressing room. You're about to do a pantomime in London.
Okay. Come in!
Alan, how you been?
You? Well, if it isn't Alex Ravenhall, my old enemy. What are you up to now?
You know, this and that. Saying you've been doing pretty well for yourself since you were back in Middlesbrough back in the day with me by the stadium, kicking balls at players as they walked past. That was the real you.
I try not to think about that part of my life. I've moved on. I'm an international superstar now. Did you see me in the first Nativity film? You don't remember me? Go back and check. I was in it.
It was a beautiful performance. But you know that isn't you, Alan. You're not all the glitz and the glamour. You're a real borough boy. I know that isn't your accent. I know you really sound like the man who runs the shop next to where we live.
I thought I told you that I left that life behind.
But can you leave it behind, Alan? Because every time you go on stage, I know really that you don't want laughs. You want gasps. You want people to fear you like they did back in the day. When we went to school together and you used to punch the nerds in the face for just taking their inhaler. 3 people died of asthma attacks that year, Alan. 3.
Oh, all right. You've convinced me. Whatever you're planning, I'm in.
And the team is getting ready. We have Archie Presley, ringleader. We have his second in command as the lovely Alan Carr. Now, we need... I'm going to start... We want a carpenter. Okay?
What about Jesus?
Right, okay, so... There are two avenues for this. We go the Jesus Christ, we get banned on YouTube, or we go for Harrison Ford.
Oh, Harrison Ford is a carpenter, isn't he?
Do you know any of the carpenters?
Apart from the band.
Oh, what does Bastard Son Mark do?
Oh, he is a professional boxer.
Right, so not on him yet. So, okay, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I think Harrison Ford.
I realise that my Harrison Ford is going to be very much like my Archie Presley, so if you would like to do Harrison, and then... No, sorry, so what's happened is, Archie's gone home, and rather than get out of his car, he's gone up to the Ikea, and he sees the big shop, he sees all the money, all the potential, he can smell the meatballs, and he's like, God damn it, I'm back in. And so he rings us, we've got Archie on board, and we meet with Archie and Alan, and we're like, right boys, this is it, this is the heist. Alan, you're our man. We want you keeping us in the loop with everything that's going on and doing what you do best. He's a ball buster, is Alan. Alan's like the muscle. And then we go, Archie, assemble your team. And it's like, and it's like a compilation. So Archie's now approaching Harrison Ford. So I'm Archie, you're Harrison Ford.
Okay.
Well, look at you in the glitz and the glamour.
Hi. I'm buying a Twix.
You're not moving as quick as you used to, Harrison.
I just got done filming Indiana Jones 4. I lost both legs.
Yeah, well, you still got the best rope weaving technique I've ever seen. We need ropes, Harrison.
Right.
We need ropes, and we need you to get them.
What do you mean? You organizing some kind of heist or something?
We wouldn't use those type of words around the press, would we, Harrison?
No, we wouldn't, would we, Harrison?
Harrison, stop referring to yourself in the third bloody person.
I want to buy my Twix now.
So?
Harrison Ford loves his Twix.
So will you win, Harrison?
I'm buying my Twix.
Harrison, I need to know for progression of the story.
Harrison Ford is in.
Well, that's very good. Thank you, Harrison. I hope you enjoy your Twix. We have Harrison on board, so we now have a rope. No, he was a fucking carpenter. I've completely ruined the story. He's a carpenter who also makes really good rope. Now, we have ringleader in Archie Presley. We have the muscle in Alan. We have a carpenter and rope weaver in Harrison Ford. But there's the real reason we got Archie Presley is because once a week, Ikea hold a underground boxing fight, and it takes quite a high-level clientele. Like, you know, you have to be good at your trade, and there's only 4 people qualified in the Middlesbrough area to participate in this underground boxing, and one of them is bastard son Mark, who I shall play, as you will play Archie, and you try and recruit him. Punch, 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 punch.
Mark! Stop saying punch at the wall again.
Father, what are you doing here?
I'm here to collect you to come and help on my heist. Do you know what heist means, Mark? Can you spell heist?
Why are you doing your Michael Jackson impression, Father?
I'm sorry, I got carried away there. I want you to join me on this important mission.
Father, you haven't talked to me in 72 years, which is quite incredible considering I'm only 18 years old.
Yeah, I knew it was a good thing to use that time machine to go back in time just to make sure I could neglect you to my fullest extent.
It was rather a funny joke, Father, indeed.
It was real funny. I got a kick out of it.
But as you can see, Father, I've used all the anger from the relationship to become a real bloody good boxer. A punch, 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 punch.
Whoa! You better be careful what you're doing with those fists there, Mark. You almost threw some air at me.
Yeah, well,
but listen.
You deserve it.
But listen, Mark. I need a good boxer. I need someone who's good with his fists, and I think you're up to the job.
Well, what's in it for me, Father? Will you love me again? Will I get to meet my real birth mama?
I was thinking more of a W.H. Smith gift card.
Well, that'll be the first gift you ever gave me. Unless you count that sock that you left at my mother's apartment when you left. I still carry it, Father.
Yes.
You see this around my neck? It's the sock. I haven't washed it in 18 years, Fafar.
Good grief, it's fused to your skin.
Yes, Fafar. I'm like Iron Man himself, but with a sock that's slowly giving me cotton poisoning.
Okay, that's enough words for a big boy like you.
Okay, Fafar, I'm in. I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad. Dad, and like that, Archie's gone. Now we're collecting a group. Now we've got a boxer in Bastard Son Mark. We have Alan Carr as the muscle. We've got Harrison. We've got Archie. What we need is a mercurial parking instructor. Now, what's it? What are those
parking instructor?
What are those people called who give you yellow tickets?
Referees?
Yes, we need a mercurial referee. Someone who can really put down the discipline when it's needed. And I know, I've got a little in, that Lorraine Kelly moonlights as a referee.
As a referee?
As a referee, and I believe it's your turn, sir. So Archie comes in, he's got Bastard Son Mark. No, he doesn't have Bastard Mark, because we keep Bastard Mark as far away as possible. And he goes, well, Lorraine bloody Kelly. I haven't seen you since that night in Paris.
Oh, how are you doing, Flower?
I'm well.
It's a good day to be alive.
I'm very well. How's the doing of the telly treating you?
Oh, I'm not concentrating on that anymore. I have a distinguished career as the night walking referee now. I run up to gangs and I give them red cards or yellow cards, depending on how they're behaving, and I send them off.
Does it work? Oh, I don't know. I've got Scottish.
What was that?
Does it work? You know, do the gangs leave?
It never works at all.
How many times have you been
works.
stabbed now, Lorraine? It was 16 last time I checked.
I've been stabbed 87 times. If you look at my chest, it's like looking at a colander.
Lorraine, this is no lifestyle for you. What are you doing out there? You quit being a hero for. I need you to be alive. I miss you, Lorraine.
Well, I might be tempted out of this life of vigilantism. The only thing that could tempt me out of this is some sort of illegal activity.
Well,
maybe even a heist.
Well, I believe you have some unfinished beef with the Swiss.
Don't mention the Swiss to me. If I could, I'd give them all a red card as soon as they came through the border.
Well, would you like to give them a metaphorical red card? By robbing Ikea.
I would love to rob Ikea.
You're in. Now, we have a decent assortment of members now, Ed. Do we want more, or are we happy with the numbers we have?
I think I'm sure that our vocal abilities could stretch to many more members, but but I think this is more than enough.
Okay, so just to remind everyone, we have Archie Presley, Mayor of Middlesbrough and ringleader of the heist. We then have his second in command,
Alan Carr.
And we then have his loving son Mark, who's a boxer, a punch. We then have carpenter and rope weaver,
Harrison Ford. Buy twigs.
and then I believe the crew is finished off by the moonlighting referee, Lorraine Kelly. Now. What we need to do, Ed, is we need to create an elaborate heist that involves an Ikea, an underground boxing match, rope, muscles, boxing, carpentry, and rope, and refereeing.
Well, I think this one writes itself.
Okay, so it's the night of the heist, and coming in is bastard son Mark. He's a boxer. He's been invited to the event. He's only allowed one other person, who is Archie Presley. He is going as his trainer. Now, the way we get the other ones into it is Lorraine Kelly is refereeing the match.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Poses as an elderly, senile man.
Yeah. Okay. An elderly senile man who has made the rope to go around the boxing ring.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
And then what about Alan?
Alan is the announcer.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so we're at the boxing match. If you would like to introduce the match.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, weighing 782 pounds, which is the equivalent to $892. The raging bull, known as the bastard son Mark.
Punch. Heck yeah, gang. Let's get this bread.
Good. And in this corner, weighing an impressive 1,082 calories, a giant Toblerone.
Hi guys, very glad to be here. Thanks for the invite, and I hope to give you a good performance. Now, as the boxing match begins between the two, the senile man walks through quite absent-mindedly, And so Archie Presley goes, God, there's a senile old man that looks like Indiana Jones over there. I best goes and helps him. Now, so those two are now in the facility. They've got past the guards because they're not going to have a go at, a senile old man. And obviously, Archie Presley is supposedly going after him. Now, Battered Son Mark is still in the ring with Toblerone. We now need to get Lorraine Kelly and Alan into the shop with carpentry. I'm thinking a Trojan horse, possibly a literal one.
Yes. So Harrison Ford has built a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
And Alan, after doing his announcement, has hidden inside the Trojan horse, and Lorraine Kelly leads the Trojan horse up to the entrance to Ikea.
Yeah.
At which point a security guard comes forward and says, what's all this then? What's all this then? And Lorraine Kelly says, hello, you probably recognise me from the telly. And the security guard says, I don't watch much television. And she goes, you don't watch much television? That's an offence. And she pulls out a red card. And she says, off, no. And the security guard goes, I didn't know it worked like that. I'm sorry. And he just clocks off and goes home. So that's got rid of the security guard.
Yeah.
So then she leads the Trojan horse containing Harrison Ford into the foyer where she meets another security guard who says, oi, what's all this then? And she says, you probably know me from the telly. And the security guard says, I don't watch much television. And Lorraine says, you don't watch much television. You need one of these. And she shows him the red card and says, off, no. And the security guard says, hang on. That may have worked on my stupider friend, but that's not going to work on me. You can't just come here and trespass with your giant horse, Lorraine Kelly. Lorraine says, I've forgotten about the horse. The horse is a gift for Security Guard of the Year. It is for you. Security guard says, oh, well, in that case, bring it further into the shop, by all means. Put it in pride of place. I want all the people of Ikea to know that I am the greatest security guard who ever... And at that point, Alan Carr is strangling the security guard with his bare hands.
As the muscle.
As the muscle. So
and as he does, he has Narm flashbacks to punching inhalers out of asthmatic people's hands, and he thinks back to that life.
Right. So Alan finishes strangling the security guard and turns to Lorraine and says, we have to burn the evidence. So Lorraine and Alan stuff the security guard into the Trojan horse and just set it on fire there in the foyer.
Yeah.
A bit like the Wicker Man, but it's a wicker horse.
Now, while that's happening, Archie and the carpenter old senile man, aka Harrison Ford, who are in the head office, and they are looking right at what they want. And of course, what this heist has always been about is the recipe for the IKEA meatballs. And it is the only copy. It's the only copy in existence, and it's been kept at the Middlesbrough one, and they're there with it now. Since then, Bastard Son Mark has beaten the Toblerone and has followed them up the stairs, but the IKEA lot have started to catch on, and so whilst all of our gang is reunited in the office, they're coming after them. And Bastard Son Mark is looking at his dad like, what do we do, father? What do we do? And he's like, I don't need this shit right now, Mark. I'm done with you. And he goes, but dad, I love you. Look, I've got this sock. And he rips open his shirt. He goes, I've got this sock that you gave me all those years ago. And he goes, I don't wear pink fluffy socks. And Lorraine Kelly turns to Bastard Son Mark and goes, I haven't had that sock in 18 years. And she pulls up her trouser legs to uncover one pink fluffy sock and one bare ankle.
Wow. Lorraine Kelly famously only has one pair of socks.
Yeah.
Okay,
what a reveal. What a twist.
I know. And as this twist is happening, the security guards are advancing on them, and it looks like everything is a disaster and all about to be over. But, unbeknownst to the security guards, Harrison Ford is right behind them, and he has been putting in a line all the wooden furniture he can find, some of which he's made himself very, very quickly. And he's made this line of wooden furniture all the way back to the foyer where the Trojan horse is still burning. So every wooden piece of furniture, in turn, catches a light to the point where it catches up with the security guards, who also catch on fire, and they burn to death in front of the heist team. So now they've got rid of the security guards, they've stolen the formula for the meatballs. All they have to do now is get out of the building, and seemingly their only exit is blocked by burning wooden furniture and screaming security guards.
But there is a window. Now, it is very far down, but there is, for some reason, lots of string. But obviously string's not strong enough to help them, abseil out the window. But then they remember someone is very good at weaving rope out of any sort of substance. That man is Harrison Ford. When it comes to weaving rope, he meticulously construes these strong, fibrous veins that all come together into a very long rope, which they shoot out the window. Now, as they're leaving, Alan notices something. He smells something in the air and he goes, "That smell of burning bodyguard smells oddly familiar." I'm not very good at the Alan. But he thinks nothing of it. And so they abseil down and they make it out of there. Now, they're stood outside. They've done it. The whole place is ablaze. But now they're all starting to smell it. And then they start to notice that the smell of the burning bodyguard smells oddly familiar. And Archie opens up the meatball formula.
Yeah.
And he goes, "My God, it's people! They're eating people!" And as it all comes crashing down, society comes crashing down with it. And that is the truth, people. That's why me and Ed are here. The meatballs in Ikea are people.
Ikea meatballs are made from security guards.
Who have been strangled by Alan Carr.
And then burned to death.
In a Trojan horse inside an Ikea.
Avoid like the plague. Avoid like the plague. Go to Oak Furniture Land instead.
Yeah, their meatballs are 100% cow. Ed, well, to be fair, that's not great nowadays either. We smashed it. We've done it again. We're amazing. And I love you.
Heist completed.
Yeah, just ignore the fact that I said I loved you. Congratulations. And we'll see you guys next time.